What a beautiful time is upon us. A time that peak has returned. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact, Peak is back. Peak is back. It's been 7 months. I think it's only been 7 months exact. Did this drop? No, I think this dropped on the 22nd. And now it's currently, at least at the day of recording, I believe the 25th. And there's also the day it's dropping. That's it. I can be lucky enough. So, like, with that being the case, Peak is back. Sorry, I love Frieren. I love Frieren a whole bunch. And notably, that love has not diminished. Like, legitimately, it is one of the only series that, like, I love, obsessed over, created an entire OC for, and I'm still currently doing OC art of them. I'm still trying to get better and better at drawing Oreo. I've mentioned him before 7 months ago, considering how much I love this series, and I'm still super excited to have it back. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of geeking right now. I'm kind of geeking right now. I'm geeking so hard that I'm gonna do something that I need to do for 2 other series I review as well. But get ready, get ready, get ready. We're pre-drawn. We're pre-drawn. Now, in the other series that I covered, Blue Lock, I had a stipulation that if there was ever a non-banger chapter that I pre-drew on, a certain thing would become canon. That thing being that guy with the kitchen. But, considering that was Blue Lock, and that was very specific to Blue Lock, I do want to give Frieren a different stipulation. So, for, like, the 5 people who will watch this review. I mean, I don't know. I actually don't remember how well the Frieren videos did. I covered it because I really, really liked it, and it was relatively popular. And I'm still going to cover it again, because this is just fun for me. But with that being the case, I'll let y'all decide what the punishment would be if a Frieren chapter wasn't peak. For one reason or another. If the Frieren chapter isn't peak, then it'll be the punishment that is the most upvotes. Bada bing, bada boom. Though once again, it's Frieren. I highly doubt a chapter's not going to be peak. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into chapter 141 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Chapter 141, a symbol of peak. All Might? Okay, let me stop. Interesting. I actually wonder, the big conflict, or the big question, is who's gonna throw the first punch, right? Like that's the whole, like, there's no way this actually goes smooth and buttery, especially considering the Shadow Warriors are involved, and we know the Shadow Warriors, technically, at least from what I remember properly, the Shadow Warriors still aren't really legal. Like, they're defending the Empire, but they're defending their own idea of the Empire. You know, the Continental Magic Association, which is what Sere runs, and now obviously Frieren and Stark and my glorious, handsome, legendary, juicy king Sign? See, why am I struggling to say his name? Hold on. Gosh darn, is it because he just, like, that's the thing, we went on, yeah, Sign. I don't know why my brain was like, my brain was screaming Scene, but, like, that's not how you say his name, it's Sign. But my glorious, handsome, legendary king Sign, my baby boy Stark, my daughter Frieren, and Big Mama Frieren, they're all here because of Frieren's connection to the Continental Magic Association, who obviously is only here because Sere is here, because it's meant to be like a big, well, funnily enough, symbol of peace thing. But I don't think Sere, even with her absolute confidence and her absolute supremacy, which I don't blame her for, I genuinely, like, ultimately, I'd honestly want to see Sere take some damage. We have rarely seen Sere do anything, and the one time we get a hint of her fighting, she took no damage. And that was against Mocked, who, like, low-diff Frieren in the past. Admittedly, it was a much weaker Frieren, and obviously Sere has been ancient since before Frieren was born, most likely. But still, that's it. So I'd actually love to see Sere take some damage or have some sort of combat interactions. But even with her relatively bloodthirsty nature, at least that's what Flame herself was like. You like conflict. That's the whole reason you haven't boomed the Demon King yourself. You like conflict. And Sere was like, I mean, shoot, you ain't wrong. So ultimately, I still don't think she's gonna be arrogant enough to just randomly attack the whole nation and declare war on the Empire, especially when she only has so few people here with her to declare war. Even if she herself is all powerful, she knows her people that she cares about are not. And that's honestly, that's what we ended the chapter 140, like the whole time, well, not, I can't really call it a time skip. Before we went on hiatus, essentially, we ended 140 clarifying that Sere does care about at least some of her first-class mages, Senza especially. It's not Senza, it's Senza, I'm pretty sure. But with it being the case, I don't think she's going to throw the first punch. The Shadow Warriors are also questionable on throwing the first punch, because since they are no longer legal, the special magic forces could come and try to boom them. Especially considering all the Shadow Warriors would be doing by attacking Sere, or Frieren, or Stark, or anyone really, is saying, hey, hi, we're here. And since they aren't legal, and they'd be disrupting this symbol of peace event, presumably they'd immediately fold in, and they would give the Continental Magic Association, whether it be Sere, whether it be Frieren, free reign to attack back, which would be good for them, the Continental Magic Association, but wouldn't be good for the Shadow Warriors, because they'd be getting ganked on 2 fronts. And obviously, the special magic forces aren't going to attack at all because, like, they just want the thing to go peacefully. So I don't know. The real question is who's going to attack first. But let's see. Chapter 141, Symbol of Peace. Oh, I missed this. I missed this art by Abe Sensei and the story by Yamada Sensei. Interesting that she's still well, I guess she can always use her magic like this, but very interesting that she's using her magic to even just dole out a drink or something like that. Let's see. Oh, why, thank you. Would you like some cake? Yes. Please. I mean, we haven't. Do we deserve to see Serai fight though? I don't know when else we would. Like that, it really depends. I've seen some people, and by some people I mean like myself and like 3 other people, theorize that either one of 2 things is gonna happen. Either one, there's going to be a new Demon King candidate. Like there's going to be essentially some demon out there that's not one of the remaining 7 sages. I think though, like who's left outside of the one who did not fight in the flashback? And actually, we don't know what happened to Rivale, so he may still be alive. But essentially, it's not going to be one of the remaining 7 sages of destruction. But there's going to be a new demon, an upstart, who will become a new Demon King that's been like in hiding for all this time, and then they'll pop up and they'll become a major threat that which could proc Serai into fighting. Or, I don't know why I said fighting like that, but the other option is the spell that, if you'll remember, what's her name? I don't remember the demon's name, but if you'll remember in the flashback arc, there was the demon who was one of the 7 stages of destruction, but very specifically was like, I'm not gonna fight in this battle and risk my life. My spell is already working. Given enough time, and it will pass. And I forget exactly what time frame she gave, but I think it actually was relatively close to where we are now in the modern day. So presumably her spell is going to become a threat. And I've at least interlinked those 2 things. I always thought her spell may be like consumption to create a new Demon King candidate, but we don't know. But those are like the only other conditions where I could see Serai actually engaging in combat at all, considering it's so very heavily implied. It makes perfect sense for her to literally be like leagues upon leagues upon leagues upon leagues upon leagues above the rest of the verse. And especially, once again, with no Demon King candidate, I have no idea who could even tickle Serai's toes, especially with Mock Dad, and supposedly he was the strongest of the 7 stages of destruction. So, like, I don't know. Let's see. Why, yes. This cake is... Star, you can at least act a little bit more refined. At least Fern's standing up. It's like, dude, like, don't lean on your hands. Be like Sign. This cake is delicious. Is it? Why don't you eat something, Fern? Sign can taste it for poison first, so don't worry. Taste it? I mean, I guess technically Sign is immune to poisons, or at least he could heal it. I'd use a detection spell. That's okay. So Sign is gonna say he'd actually like test it for. Okay. Mistress Frieren, this is all very different from what I was expecting. Man, here I was mentally prepared to be thrown into a death trap. But then again, I guess it makes sense. They haven't really dealt with subterfuge like this, and I think about it. The closest encounter they had was with that Shadow Warrior from the village, which didn't even really end up being much subterfuge. He just attacked randomly at night. Meanwhile, they've had the one encounter with the Shadow Warriors, which was basically a head-on battle. So I guess they wouldn't really think about the idea that this technically is just a big old... It's not really... I agree with them. It isn't necessarily a death trap. It's a bomb waiting to go off. Like I said, whoever throws the first punch is going to lead to a domino effect of all currently the strongest magic powers in the universe, as far as we know, all fighting. And that's going to be crazy. Let's see. What are you talking about, Stark? This is a death trap. Hey, well, I'm saying it doesn't look like one. Well, that's the funny thing about death traps. They aren't supposed to look like death traps. Well, actually, I'm thinking more of lobster traps, where like they're easy to get in, but it's really easy to get in, but it's really hard to get out. That's what I'm thinking of. But even like death traps, they're usually hidden, right? Like a bear trap in the woods is meant to catch a bear, gash into its arm or leg, whatever, gets caught in it, and then bleed them out. Or even really like a Komodo dragon. I don't know why I have Komodo dragons in mind. I've seen a couple videos about them, so I think that's why they're coming to mind. But very specifically, a Komodo dragon doesn't like eat you as it bites you. It gives you one good bite, infects you with all the different toxins, and then just follows you. It's essentially a slow death. And that's the same thing with what happens with bear traps. So those are 2 technical death traps that don't appear to be death traps based on the initial reaction. Oh no, a bear got its leg pierced. Should be fine. Oh no, you got bit by something. Should be fine. No. In either case, you will very likely not end up fine. Let's see. Well, I'm saying it doesn't look like one. They said we should wait for the... Oh. Honestly, I would love to see a good... We've gotten glimpses of it, but I would love to see some of Frieren's like alone time. Like how like she's so used to Fern doing all this, but how was she when it was just her? Especially for that, not even the period post the Heroes Party, because I think ultimately the Heroes Party traveling did change Frieren. She just didn't realize it at the time. I'm talking like that time post Flame's death, but pre Heroes Party. Like what she took care of herself clearly, but darn, even you can't even wipe your own mouth. Let's see. They said we should wait for the enemy to make the first move. I actually think it's a solid plan. We have the roster, so we can identify them. We can act the moment they try anything. And being on the defensive gives us access to intel we might have missed. Yeah! The only issue with them being on the defensive, though actually them having that information is really, really good, considering the Shadow Warriors don't seem to disguise their faces. But the main issue here is that since they are Shadow Warriors, them attacking first could just kill you. Like, obviously, they had their encounter with the Shadow Warriors before, due to the whole coin tracking thing. But the whole point of the Shadow Warriors is that they attack from the shadows. So if you're caught lacking, they can boom you. And, like, that was the big reason why it was important for Stark to be here. Because the Shadow Warriors are specifically trained to hunt mages. So if Fern or Frieren... Probably not Seta. Once again, maybe I'm just glazing Seta too much. Am I glazing Seta too much? But it's probably not Seta. But at least for our two major mages that are our main characters... If they are caught lacking in close range, which could happen by any of the Shadow Warriors, like, dropping from the roof, who knows, they could, like, instantaneously die. So sure, them attacking first is a good plan solidly on, like, face value, but at the same time, them attacking first could lead to them booming you. Not impossible. Let's see. The plan is to stay calm and steady. It reminds me of when Sensa was the exam proctor. Ah, okay. So essentially, we remember, if I'm remembering properly, I haven't reread Frieren in a while, actually. I think I last reread in, like, January, because it was just like, I need more Peak. But I couldn't have any more Peak, so I just reread Peak. But with it being the case, if I remember properly, Senza, throughout the exam, was essentially using her hair as a feeler, right? And just reading how everyone was doing like that. And same case here, where presumably she's acting as the universal basis to scan, monitor everything. So in case a Shadow Warrior were to try to drop from the heavens, they wouldn't automatically boom under the party. Let's see. That's probably why she was put in charge of this mission. Yeah. And she's the most calm and rational. Then again, the other guy was pretty calm and rational too, but we don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's a demon. Let's see. I've been thinking, Mistress Frieren, if we know what they look like, why not strike first? Diplomatic incident. Once again, since this is a ball built to sustain, or at least not sustain, but like build an illusion of peace, if you will. Not if there's actual real peace, but like build an illusion of peace. It would probably be very bad if the invited guests, or any of the invited guests, because I believe this is the Empire, so I think they invited multiple people here. But if any of the invited guests were to be attacked, even if they know they're Shadow Warriors, not everyone else does. And obviously, the Shadow Warriors will use an excuse to fight back. And then, in that case, it's the whole it's like the Han Solo thing, who shot who first. Shadow Warriors attack, they could pile that on with the Magic Defense Force, which would then attack the initial attackers. So the same issue the Shadow Warriors would run into first, if they attacked initially, is what the current group would run into if they attacked first. Now, obviously, with Seta here, they could probably just dip the entire Empire. I'm not entirely convinced that the Empire could actually take Seta down. But then again, I may just be glazing. Let's take a look. Oh, that's adorable too. Frieren being like, you sound like Seta. Let's see. That'd be a good move if the enemy was sneaking around behind our backs. But according to Falsh's analysis, they're still in the ballroom. That means we can't do anything yet. Yeah. International incident and all. Let's see. We know that they're Shadow Warriors, but no one else does. This Magic Special Forces, I just been saying Magic Forces. The Magic Special Forces will definitely act, though. Yeah, and they're posted up. They're like, do it, gang. Huh? You want it? Go ahead. Go, do it. Press the button. Right, like, and we know that some of them are fiends in of themselves, even if they aren't Shadow Warriors. We've seen some of the Special Magic Forces or Magic Special Forces are like dogs, beasts, and animals. And if you remember, Land, who I'm not sure if he has a unique pronunciation to his name. Like, I've been reading Sense as Sensa. I've been saying Sense as Sensa because that's how it's pronounced, because these are all, I think, German names, and that's how you pronounce Sensa. But I'm not sure if Land has a specific pronunciation, if it's like Land or something. But essentially, if you remember, Land's mother or grandmother, yeah, I think it was his mother, because he lives with his grandmother, was hunted down by the Special Magic Forces, or the Magic Special Forces. So, clearly, they got that dog in them if they feel like it. So, they're probably just waiting for, once again, it's like everyone's holding something, but no one wants to fire first, because whoever fires first is getting two things pointed at them. So you either have to fight 2 of the strongest mages in existence, plus another really, really strong mage, plus a competent warrior, and 2 other strong first-class mages, along with who are all supported by a fantastic healer. Either you have to fight them, and the special magic forces, or the Shadow Warrior, and that's in the case of the Shadow Warriors if they attack first. If, for some reason, the special magic forces, or the magic special forces attack first, they then need to fight, presumably, just the Continental Magic Association? Presumably. But then again, the Shadow Warriors would probably also take the opportunity to, if not disable them, intervene in some way. But then again, that would still just be Frieren's group getting 2v1'd. And then, if the Shadow Warriors attack first, they're just getting ganked. And ultimately, I think, unironically, I think the people who have the most to lose from any sort of direct, immediate engagement or confrontation is the Shadow Warriors. I think that you genuinely lose in most scenarios because they're just outnumbered and going to get super ganked. And they're trying to kill Sere. If she wasn't here, I'd give him like a 50-50 shot. But like honestly, with her, I just don't buy it. Let's see. The Foundation Day Festival Ball is a symbol of peace. Let's see. It's a symbol of peace. If the Continental Magic Association sparks a conflict here, it could ignite an all-out war. But then again, I do wonder, would the Empire actually want to battle Sere? I mean, like, not only does she have, like, a bunch of history being tied into it, I believe the Empire was raised up to its status because Flame very specifically released it, and we know Sere is the Master of Flame. But then again, how much of that information is only relevant to us, the readers, through Frieren, and how much of that information is actually relevant to the Empire is completely different, considering the Empire has changed so much over the years. But at the same time, I think, considering the Shadow Warriors are going out of their way to attempt to assassinate her in the first place, I think they also know that if Sere wanted to do extreme damage at the bare minimum, she could probably level a good chunk of the Empire. Once again, this is all set. I'm sorry. Let's see. It could ignite an all-out war. So instead of taking the bait, we're better off just eating this cake and saving our strength. But if you're really having a hard time relaxing, why not go ahead and dance? It'll make it look like your guards are down even more. Okay. So they do actually, in a weird way, they do actually get to enjoy the ball, even if they need to be on supreme edge while enjoying the ball. I get that though. Sometimes you gotta play 2 roles at once. Let's see. Would you like to dance? Don't you think that's a little bit too bold? Stark. Yo. Shout outs to all the what is the ship called? Stern? I feel like Stern. But I feel like Fark is also worse. I'm not sure which is worse. Ferk? What actually? I don't actually know what the Fern Stark ship is called, but shout out to everyone who has the patience with this one. I know it's basically endgame. I've seen the fan art. I've read the fanfic. Yes, I had a long time. All right, we were on hiatus for 7 months. I had to do something. I couldn't just write my own fanfic. I had to read it. But with it being the case, I've seen it. I've read it. I've heard of it. But man, you want to talk about the slow burn of doom and despair? It's been years. But let's see. Don't you think that's a little too bold? Oh, but you know what? Even if he did smack away the layup, he went for it anyway. Okay, so never mind. Alright, I get the patience. Look, Grau, they're enjoying the ball. We're totally being watched. Yep, there's... Oh, Sensa? Maybe implying murder isn't the best thing to do. Oops, we made eye contact. And immediately going with that. I mean, it's not like a threat. It's not a valid enough threat to operate on, but if he wanted the excuse, this is really enough to be like, oh, you saw that, right? Like, she threatened me. I just made eye contact with her because I thought she was pretty. And she is, you know, like trying to off you, boy. I got a boot. Like, technically, that could be an excuse. But then again, just as they're walking on eggshells because they don't want to accidentally start a war, obviously the magic special forces. I keep saying special magic forces. I don't know why I'm not saying magic special forces. The MSF, they also are walking on eggshells because they don't want to fight. At least for once again, I gotta stop blazing Sere. We gotta stop. I gotta stop. Hold on. It's not like I wanted to be stuck with guard duty. Why'd we get called in as backup anyway? Don't let it get you down, Logger. We're supposed to stand by in case of an attack. But hopefully nothing like that happens. Plot's got a plot. Let's see. An attack? Who would be foolish enough to attack the Continental Magic Association? I know a fool within our own ranks who'd do it. Maybe I should write up my will. Though I don't want to die just yet. But see, look at that. Even they're like, wait. They want to attack who? We may have to attack. Like, he's like, I know I'm built like that. But we ain't built like that. And notably, even if it was just like two great mages, right? Like Seta is not a great mage. She's the mage essentially. She's magic itself, the living encyclopedia, the living grimoire, if you will. But even if it was just two Frierens, I also get their heavy hesitation to attack because they know who Frieren is, and it's like they'd be like two of the strongest people on the planet just chilling somewhere, and someone's like, yeah, you know, we may have to attack them, and you'd be like, imagine just two John Wicks sitting somewhere chatting. I'd be horrified too. Let's see. That's not even funny. But you are smiling. Oh, we're back with Captain Frieren. Let's see. Our investigation found that all official records of the members of the Shadow Warriors were lost when they were disbanded 16 years ago. Yep, that's the thing. That's why there are three separate technical parties that could all trigger an attack and start a war. Let's see. Yes. Wait, no. Hold on, I gotta hit an old woman voice. Hold on, let me take a sip. Yes, I'm aware. That's why I ordered you to investigate the matter in detail. We conducted a thorough search. There's nothing left. Not a trace. Interesting. So, but that, of course, that makes sense. They were Shadow Warriors in the first place, and considering they were being disbanded, I bet whoever was the lead at that time was like, wipe everything. If they really don't want us, we knew the organization continued to function and work very specifically because of the differing views on the Empire, and considering the nature of their role, just telling them to stop doing what they were doing when they already had the ability to erase themselves, it makes perfect sense that they were able to truly delete everything. Especially considering, I'm not sure how records work in this world, but presumably you just burn them. Let's see. It's almost like they never existed at all. So you're saying the official records never existed in the first place? Is that your conclusion? Well, she's not really saying that. She's just saying she couldn't find anything. Meaning if there were official records, they were destroyed. Let's see. Oh, no response, though. No response. Interesting. Very well. It's logically sound, at least. Maybe if the Shadow Warriors had been more transparent, they would have never been disbanded. Yeah, ultimately, because that was the thing, right? Ultimately, they had the main issue of the Shadow Warriors that got them disbanded in the first place, from what I remember, is very specifically the fact that they were a little bit too autonomous. There was no clear direction anymore. There were so many different unique heads of the Shadow Warriors that all had their own ideas of what the Empire should be and how they could support it. That the king was like, or the Emperor at the time was like, gang, y'all doing too much and y'all refuse to consolidate. Stop it. But of course, all the Shadow leaders were like, yeah, no, I don't think I will. And then I believe it is after they were disbanded that, what was her name? The other Great Sage. The reason why Frieren is like the last Great Sage and not obviously Seta herself is because I literally took some of her design to steal, Elf, Frieren. I took some of her design, I took her ears and added them to BioC. Not because I think BioC is like the child of that character, but I just actually really like their ear design. Known elves. Minus, or Minus. I'm not sure. Once again, it's all German. I think that's all the names are. And then this I'm not sure if that's pronounced differently. But Minus, she was the elf. I believe she was slain after the Shadow Warriors were disbanded. So clearly they were still cooking. They were still very active. I was like, very well. It sounds logically like they've never been disbanded. Even if we did identify the former members, I expect they've turned their work over to a new generation. Ah, yeah, that's the thing, right? You even if you did have the old official records, maybe you could find them as trainers, and those trainers could be used to find their disciples. But even then, considering they were Shadow Warriors, I bet they are trained to the brim to never give any information. So, yeah, the Shadow Warriors are truly an entire unknown, which does make it even more impressive that the Continental Magic Association was able to get any information on them at all. Like, I know it's because of their own plant that came from the Continental Magic Association, but truly, I forget the poor woman's name, but that first class mage is a monster to be able to glean that much information from them when even the people who run the Empire seemingly couldn't glean any information from an organization that used to be under their thumb. But the Continental Magic Association, with their one mage, managed to get all this info, which is crazy. Let's see. We don't have a single face or name. Won't that delay our security response? That depends on your orders. If you wish us to act, we will. Outside the ballroom, of course. Ah, okay, so the conflict's gonna happen in the ballroom. But who's swinging first? Who's swinging first? Let's see. We'll defend the ballroom with everything we have. We won't let any fights break out there. Hold on, it's right here. Hold on. Mash the button. Okay, that's the X to down button. And then hold on. Y'all play these games with me. We know what's happening in the ballroom. Let's see. All right. Fine then. Give me a status report. We're currently monitoring the entire palace, but focusing on the ballroom. However, due to local nobles coming and going so frequently, we conclude that preventing infiltration isn't entirely realistic. Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense though. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. And there's only a limited amount of guards. You don't want to have too many guards there, or else the tension would get too high. Though, obviously, I do think they probably should have more than these two. I'm assuming these two are separate from these two, so there probably are more around, but still. Instead, we've narrowed our surveillance down to the Continental Magic Association. We're positioned to respond immediately should anyone attack. I think that is the smart play. Because we know what the Shadow Warriors are after. Ultimately, I don't think the Shadow Warriors have any direct beef with the Magic Special Forces. I don't think they do. In fact, they would be allies under most circumstances. So, by monitoring the Continental Magic Association, they get to watch if a Shadow Warrior goes for them and then respond. Or, really, I guess you could say vice versa, but still, attacking them directly is still on the table for our casting crew. But they probably just wouldn't. So, we're in a very interesting spot. Immediately. Yes, if you give the order to engage, we'll act immediately. And the one thing I very still remember about Captain Fraiche, I do believe her name is Fraiche, or the captain here, essentially. I remember even Mocked was like, we need to kill her now. Mocked, of all characters, was like, gang, I respect you, bro. You're the leader of the city-state, dog. She needs to die today. It's like, I can take her out back and make her disappear. We need to get rid of her now. But the Lord of, I forget his name. I'm not gonna bother looking that one up. But he was like, no, it's fine. Code Red, it was not fine. So obviously this woman is still undeniably powerful, and I'm hoping we get to actually see her engage. But she seems she's nowhere even near the function itself, so I'm assuming she's going to have to show up. It all depends on who triggers who. Let's see. Very well. Remain on standby for further orders. Okay. Oh! Speaking of Shadow Warriors, and they shall appear. This is, Iris Gazelle? This is the priest guy. This is the bar woman, I believe, Iris. I forget this one's name, but I believe she's the bookkeeper, if I'm remembering correctly. I should have reread. Once that new peak dropped, I should have reread. Let's see. Oh, there he goes, Clematis. Clematis, are you sure it's alright for us to just sit out in the open like this? Yes, this is a ballroom. It is the only... Oh, this ballroom is the only place we can be out in the open. As long as we stay in here, the Continental Magic Association won't dare to attack. If they do, they'll quite literally turn the entire empire against them. Yeah, so that's the thing. Someone has to swing first, but everyone acknowledges swinging first is not a good idea. For whatever reason it is, whether it be the Shadow Warriors have no jurisdiction, and thus them attacking will then trigger the Continental Magic Association attacking, which will then trigger a counter response. That's no good. And obviously the Special Magic Forces aren't going to, or the Magic Special Forces aren't going to attack because they have no reason to attack because they don't want anything to happen here. And obviously the Continental Magic Association doesn't have any reason to attack because they don't want to attack and then trigger war. So like everyone's in a stalemate. So who gonna break? Let's see. But what about the Magic Special Forces? They consider us traitors, right? Targets for elimination. Well, that's up to us. Yeah, oh yeah, it is Captain Fraiche. Or I think it's how you say it, Fraiche. Let's see. Well, that's up to Captain Fraiche. At least that's what I'd like to say. But the truth is, despite appearances, she's nothing if not loyal. Interesting. But he means in the sense that she will boom us. He's like, even if we are supposedly loyal to the idea of the Empire, she will boom us if we even remotely get close to threatening the current stability of the Empire. So even Clematis, who seems to be the leader at least of this section of Shadow Warriors, he's like, it's not worth triggering her right now. Let's not do it. Let's see. I sincerely doubt she'd turn the ballroom into a war zone. After all, this ball is a symbol of peace and a display of the Empire's enduring strength. If anything were to disrupt it, it'd be seen as a sign that the Empire is in decline. So, if I were in her position, I'd make sure the ball went off without a hitch, and quietly eliminate any threats behind the scenes. But the thing is, if everyone's in the ballroom, how are you gonna eliminate anybody, dog? That's my main wonder. And how is Stark gonna get his axe? Where's he hiding that bad boy? Did they use a shrinking spell? What was it? And if the battle stays out of the public eye, I imagine there are those hoping to swoop in and reap the benefits. Who would that be, though? If the battle stays out of the public eye. Oh, well, maybe with the... Okay, Special Magic Forces. I imagine there are those hoping to swoop... So he's referring to himself here. I imagine there are those hoping to swoop in and reap their benefits. Essentially, he wants these Magic Special Forces to attack the Continental Magic Association so they can sweep in and body whoever they need to body and then get away with it, essentially. I see the vision. I see the vision. As for us Shadow Warriors, maybe not. Maybe he's talking about somebody else, a party I don't recognize. Let's see. As for us Shadow Warriors, we have absolutely no intention of stepping into the spotlight. Naturally. Which is funny, because he is, like, literally a priest. Let's see. Or at least pretends to be. So most likely, everything will unfold entirely behind the curtains. The Continental Magic Association, once again entirely represented by Sere. Let's see. The Magic Special Forces, the Shadow Warriors. This is the man who killed Minus. I'm very interested to see his role. Let's see. No matter who wins, tonight's ball will almost certainly conclude without incident. Someone's gonna boom it. Let's see. I don't even want to imagine the chaos. You'd be lucky if you got to witness it. So, if you feel like dancing, now's the time. Yo, everyone's like, we're probably gonna die. And the only person who's fully confident and not dying is Sarah. She's like, I am functionally immortal. There's nothing that any of these humans can also to kill me. But everybody else is like, there is a non-zero chance that I die. I remember pre-time skip. I believe it was, I think the guy's name is Gazelle. Even he was like, man, who am I going to leave this shop to, dog? I ain't going to live the rest of my life. Like, he even knows, like, I am fried. Let's see. So if you like dancing, now's the time. This will probably be the first and last time former child soldiers like you come to an event like this. Ah, former though? I mean, I guess they're adults now, so they're now just soldiers instead of child soldiers. Even if you survive. Ah, okay, so this truly is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But then again, if they do manage to boom Sere, because presumably if they're alive, they boom Sere, that is actually a once-in-a-lifetime achievement. So, coming to a ball like this again may be useful, but nothing would clear slaying the greatest mage to ever live. That sounds really fun. That was not her act. Let's see. That sounds really fun. Well, wanna dance? She immediately goes to leave, like no. But Iris does catch her. Let's see. Clematis, we came here to fight, not dance. So stop screwing around. Oh! Okay, Iris, talk that down. Let's see. I'm not. Then you're being serious. I don't even know how to dance. You only taught me how to fight. Okay. So he truly did. He called them former child soldiers because I'm guessing he was the one who raised them up entirely and trained them up entirely. Okay. I'm offended. I taught you other things necessary for your missions. So just observe and imitate as you always do. You've had that training. Hey, and honestly, that's how you learn most things. You do typically learn everything through some form of imitation. Heck, even me. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it is Gazelle. Even that idiot Gazelle who uses a knife and fork. A knife. Wait, what? Even that idiot Gazelle who uses a knife like a fork and vice versa is holding it correctly now. Hey! Well, actually, no, he may be talking about just like, he may have been trying to cut with the fork and then poke with the knife. But honestly, I've seen that before. No, actually, I haven't seen the poke with the knife thing, but I've seen people like poke whatever they're eating with their knife and then eat it like that. Almost as if it were like a really thick metal chopstick. But very interesting that they had solo. So I'm guessing they usually eat with their hands. He's holding it correctly now. Are you trying to pick a fight? Are you trying to pick a fight with me? I need to figure out Gazelle's voice. I don't remember. I should have watched at least a few of my old reviews. Let's see. Are you trying to pick a fight with me? No. What's this guy's voice? There's so many characters in this chapter that I'm actually legit running out of voices. Hold on, I have an idea. Are you trying to pick a fight with me? Let's see. Do as he does and observe those around you. That's not what I'm talking about. Oh? What are you talking about then? Yes, it is. I don't know how to dance either. Just like all of you. Okay, so yeah, it truly is a case. So Fraiche and the woman whose name I forget, they were both right in assuming that the current generation of Shadow Warriors is, if not entirely, but mainly disconnected from the previous one. So even if they found the previous one, they would have no reference for anything and no willingness to give up anything. So presumably, he's the first of the secondary new generation, or actually no, he's the first of the first new generation post their disbandment, and then Iris, Gazelle, and a woman whose name I forget. They're all part of the second generation that were raised up by a member of this generation. Interesting, interesting. Just like all of you. Iris, you good? Iris. Oh, did you hear something? I did as you said and observed my surroundings. I'll be back. It's my turn to patrol anyway. Routine. Oh, routine. That's her name. Is there a fancy way to say that? Or not a fancy way. Is there a proper way to say this? Let's see. Routine. Go with her. We're not supposed to act alone. I know. Come on. Oh, okay. So it was bait. She was like, yeah, you don't want to come dance with me? You're gonna come with me one way or another. Let's see. Clematis. Am I saying it right? Clematis? Clematis? I'm not sure. Clematis. I may not know much about table manners, but I've got a good head on my shoulders. I know that. I should have said that earlier. She's like, hey, if you were gonna insult me, I should have dropped that sooner. Let's see. You think you've got it all figured out, hmm? No, I do have it figured out. Ever since the day you saved us from that battlefield way up north. It's like you raised us. Ah, okay, so they truly were all together. Very interesting. And obviously we know why the woman who plays the nun isn't here. Because, you know, she did drastically expose herself and did get vaporized by Frieren. And I think she's still recovering from that. Let's see. I merely desired skillful pawns. That's all. Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. In this case, I understand him viewing just humans as pawns. Let's see. Well, what did you hear? Despite what Clematis said, someone's approaching the ballroom who doesn't care one bit about what happens at the ball. And they're itching for a fight. You can tell that by hearing? Okay, I guess. Let's see. Said his bodyguards? Or someone on the list? I don't know. Oh, even more interesting. Then we'll need to get visual confirmation before we engage. Oh, so these two are... So oh, did I not know the first person to pull? Yeah, it would be Ubel. I'm not trying to say her name. Ubel? Whatever. But it would be her. We have to do something, otherwise it will endanger our mission. Okay. Interesting. So I respect her thumb, or at least her thumbnail. Yep, there it is. Do I need to put a leash on you? Have you got one? Do I need to put you on a leash? Have you got one? I don't know. You better start looking. Okay. So technically, the Continental Magic Association will be the ones that throw the first blow, but it'll be outside the scope of the ballroom. And presumably, the battle will lead into the ballroom, causing a domino effect. The question is, who is getting knocked into the ballroom first, and who is going to cause the domino effect? Because obviously, the fight's going to break down the ballroom. Regardless, overall, a W chapter. A fantastic chapter to come back off of hiatus. Addressing a lot of the major plot points that were set up previously, giving us a little soft reminder and reintroduction to all the major characters here, dropping every major faction and their leader, and showing off who is doing what and who is not doing anything, setting up a major three-way conflict, but a major three-way stalemate as well, and introducing a factor that will completely destabilize that stalemate, even if it comes at the cost of the rest of the plan, unless this is part of Sari's plan, you never know. Overall, an amazing chapter. If you've been all the way to this video, please leave... Man, peak returns. Leave peak returns in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notifications post so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you can have a picture down below where you support me for as low as $1 a month. These exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now becoming a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include live reactions to the series I'm to review, ad reactions of all my videos, and if you become a $12 Patron or $12 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also the link to my Ko-Fi down below. You can drop 5 views for a short video, $2 beans on video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off. I would like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis 97, Zachary Wilson, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, G Prosper, Swift Strike, Alexicon, Striker Man, and Autumn Mornings Lazo. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members: Austin Wimberly, Euchia, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members, Jay Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Joaquin Munoz and Joaquin Munoz. And a vinyl and thank you to our ultimate, that guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin's wife. Not Calvin Elder, who ultimately does have one of my kidneys, but now I must know, and I must undergo the process of getting the second one removed, so I can send the other over to this wonderful family.